Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar around advanced tips and tricks for Webbies. I'll be presenting today with Gregory Botticchio. So basically, he is the SAP Webby guru and around Webbies. So that's really great to have him today. And basically, the intent of this webinar is to show advanced tips and tricks around Webbies. And at the end of this session, basically, you'll have a chance to ask all the questions that you want. If we're not able to answer all of them today, because I'm sure there'll be many, we'll do our best to get back to you within a few days to all your questions. So basically, everything we do around 360 is just to bring value to our customers. As you can see on this slide, you can see two examples of customers. City of Chicago, basically they've recently done a migration of 1,500 users to 4.2. They saved $250,000 with a 360, and they've done a lot of cleanup. Or more recently, Vanderbilt University, they've saved $350,000. They're doing a migration to 4.2, and they're saving 75% of their time going to 4.2. Around 360, so 360 right now we have 5 different products in brief, and is 360 View, which is around bulk updates, monitoring, and security to find out who's got access to what. Plus is around promotion, backup, disaster, and recovery. CAS is around bursting. Bind, it's a great tool. It's around regression testing and data accuracy. And EYES is around BI and BI and impact analysis. I'll pass over to Gregory, who will do his presentation. And basically, his presentation will consist of slides and live demos. So please feel free to ask all the questions that you want, and we'll do our best to answer to them at the end of this session. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot, Bruno. Thanks a lot. So, welcome everyone. My name is Gregory Botticchio. I'm Product Manager for Web Intelligence. I'm really happy to be with you all today. I didn't look at how many attendees you have today, so let me quickly check. You have, up to now, you are 93 attending this session. So I'm really pleased to deliver this webinar with JB and Smith today, because it is my very first time that I'm working with Bruno on a webinar. I'm sure that if you are with me today, it's because you have an interest in Web Intelligence and to learn new things about Webby. So, and this is the intent of this webinar. So, I'm going to show you many things. So before to show you the agenda, I'm pretty sure you know Webby by heart. So Webby, we position it as another query and interactive reporting tool. It has many capabilities. I'm not going to detail everything, but most of the things that I'm going to demo to you today are available if you are on the latest release. And it's not complicated, it's not complex, it's just to know how the tool is working and how to use the different capabilities to achieve this. So it's a mix. This session will be a mix of tips and tricks and reminder for you of the capabilities that you have in Webby that you have delivered cumulatively over the last 2 years. So what is the agenda? I would say that many things that I will try to demo you. Tips and tricks about performance consideration, around almost how to create a pixel perfect report, working with Microsoft Excel files, so I'm pretty sure you are doing this on your side. The merge dimension, what can you merge today within Webby and how? Last one, what if analysis using Webby, plus how to inject additional interactive things for your end user, in the hands of the end users. And last but not least, tips and tricks for table and chart if time allows us. Yes, I said if time allows us, because like Bruno mentioned it, this webinar will be a mix of slide and demo, and in fact, the only sign on top of which I'm going to speak without any demo is this one. After this one, demo and only demo. So performance consideration. So I'm pretty sure you face a situation where your end user come to you and said, hey, my report is slow. My report is slow to open. My Java applet is slow to load. What can you do? So the good thing is it's not a new subject. We have, I would say, almost up to 10 years of learning curve on this. So I'm going to share with you things you could do quite easily at the client side, meaning what you can do in the Webby report, in the Webby tool itself. At the design time, things you should not do in order to improve the performance, and what you should do when you are using custom variables, calculations, things you should do and not. Let's start with the first one. Use HTML interface for faster viewing and refreshing reports. This is to be a common sense, but the HTML interface is a lightweight, thin client viewer compared to the Java applet or the Webby rich client. It uses HTML to display indeed the Webby documents if you want. And effectively, this DHTML viewer is faster for viewing and refreshing Webby documents. Refreshing more or less, but for opening and viewing a Webby document, this is faster compared to the Java applet that you have to pay the price of loading the Java applet. So first thing, if you are an end user who want to view a Webby document, you should privilege the DHTML viewer first. Second one, upgrade to BI 4.1 SP3 to benefit of the single jar applet interface. What does it mean? It means that if you are a power user, if you spend a lot of time in first creating Webby document, but also if you have decided to use the Java applet as the default viewer for all your users, we went through different technology and things that have, I would say, decreased the performance of the Java applet at the loading time of the Java applet. So starting BI 4.0, we introduce a new architecture for the Java interface, the Java applet interface that you call also the Java report panel or the Java viewer. In previous versions, in XI 3.1, to load the Java applet, end user, technically, you needed to load only one jar file. For example, in XI 3.1, the jar file was called thin-cadenza.jar. Starting 4.0, for different reasons and architecture considerations, we decided to split this single jar file in up to 60 jar files, 60. So you can imagine that when you want to load the Java applet, the time has drastically increased. But starting BI 4.2 SP3, now you can you just 4.1 SP3, sorry, you just have to download one jar file again. So it means that the boost of the loading is faster now, starting 4.1 SP3 and in the most recent release. Second thing, make sure that the Java client-side caching is working. So when you troubleshoot client-side Java performance issues, most of the time the first thing we do is to check if the Java caching is enabled and working. Otherwise, it means that every time you restart the Java applet, you will download the Java file completely and again instead of using what should be available again in the cache. So you should check this in order to boost the loading of the Java applet. What can you do? Make sure the client-side caching is working. So I already mentioned this. Hide the left panel to gain some time when opening the document. So it depends of the way you have built your Webby document, but most of the time, if you don't need the left frame, the left panel for your end user, simply hide it or minimize it. Because if you decide to show it by default, it means that every time you will load the Webby document, you will spend some processing time in calculating what needs to be displayed in the left frame. By hiding this left frame, this left panel, you are gaining a few seconds in performance when opening your Webby document. Then, 1.5. Steer clear of monster Webby document. This is a big recommendation here because I continue to receive monster Webby documents, and I will explain what I mean by monster Webby document.
Gregory, I I have a little anecdote. We have a customer who has a document of 14,000 pages. So that's a Webby of 14,000 pages. So that's not a very good practice.
Exactly. That's what I mean by monster Webby documents. But it's not only related to the number of pages that you have. This can be related to several things. For example, the number of reports, or tabulation that you include into your Webby documents. Yeah, so as you know, Webby documents can contain multiple reports, multiple tabs, and it is important to control this. And you have ways to control this when you create a Webby document. And I would say the best way to control this is to focus on the end user and what he wants to achieve first. For example, by asking yourself few dummy questions, such as, what is the primary purpose for this document? What questions does this Webby document have to answer? How many different consumers will be utilizing this document? Can this document be split in multiple documents? That's for example, by asking this type of questions and by drilling in and by finding the actual need and facts based on the answers of your end users, this will help you to eliminate a few things. This should help you to build reports that correspond specifically to the business needs and not contain multiple business needs. If you build a master document that contain every possible scenario that the consumer may want to look at, then you are entering potentially wasting a lot of time for both the document designer but also for the consumer. So here comes a few recommendations and best practices to keep in mind while building a Webby document to avoid the monster Webby document. First, avoid using a large number of reports of tabulations within a Webby document. You should keep this less than, for example, 10 reports on 10 tabs. More than 10 reports, 10 tabs inside the single Webby document, you should avoid this and you should ask yourself, is it really what I need? Second thing, creating smaller documents for specific business needs will allow faster runtime and analysis. Utilize report linking to join smaller documents together is a recommendation. It's something that I really push hard for the end user to do and the designer to implement. So meaning that you create a small report and to access all the details, you use the open document feature to access into another document the details. For example, provide only the data that are required for your business need inside the Webby document. So you should, for example, control, this is a must-have, control the number of rows of data per document that you are bringing into the Webby document. Let's say, with Webby is really capable, right? Depending of the way you have sized your Webby report server, amount of time the end user is ready to wait, you can bring 1 million rows if you want. But how many times are you ready to wait for 1 million rows? So let's say that if you want to get a good balance of performance versus rows, I would say that 100,000 rows is okay. That's okay. You can go above 100,000 rows. 500,000 rows is also okay. This is a matter of balance. How many data, first of all, do I need to build my document, and how many time my end user is ready to wait to get the Webby document refreshed or processed. Last one, do not add additional data providers if you don't need additional data providers into your Webby document. So 5 data providers should be is a reasonable number that you should have in mind. More than possible, 15 data providers is also possible, but why? And if you reach 15 data providers, 20 data providers for a single Webby document, maybe you should start to think of something else. Maybe you should start to think if you should not merge the data into a specific database by using an ETL. So this is a basic recommendation that you should be aware. By implementing them, you will see immediate benefits. For example, reduce the time it takes to load the Webby document for the viewer, reduce the refresh time of your Webby document, reduce the system resources needed for both the client and the server side. This is quite important. It will also improve the performance when you will design and modify the Webby document, and also the overall performance and experience for the consumer, for the end user, during the add query and analysis will be also improved. What you can do at the design time, avoid autofit. Avoid autofit. When you build a table, please, for every column for this table, avoid the autofit with and author. Avoid the autofit, because this will have an impact, an immediate impact on the calculation of the different pages. Because imagine that you have a document with 100 pages, and this is a table with an autofit. It means that before to generate the pages number 100, you will have to calculate the size that the table will take depending of the data contained in every cell of the table. If it is auto-width, this adds enormous, I would say, a lot of trade-off on the servers and calculate side. So you should use fixed column size to avoid this, and you will see that this can improve the performance when you will go from one page to all pages, for example. Another one, I already mentioned this, limits the number of data providers. I mentioned that you should keep in mind the number of 5. You can go up to 15, but there is another reason to restrict this. That at the refresh time. So if you have a 5 data provider, the refresh of the data providers will happen in sequence, one by one. So if the first one refresh 30 seconds, the second one 30 seconds, the data provider number 3 30 seconds, with already these 3 data providers, you will have to wait 1 minute and 30 seconds. So avoid this. Try to factorize the data providers, and if you can't, good news for you, starting follow to SP3, the refresh of the data providers can happen in parallel. Then 1.8, function number of pages will force generation of all pages. So that's a very common functionality that you use when you are building reports within Webby. You want to display the page number you are looking at compared to the total page in your report. But so you are using the formula called number of pages, which is a formula. But by using the number of pages formula, you are forcing in the backend, you are forcing the calculation of all the pages in your report every time you open this Webby document, which means that if you have 1,000 pages, every time you open the Webby document, you are asking the Webby document to generate the 1,000 pages just to know that there is 1,000 pages to be displayed in the footer of your Webby document. You should avoid this simply by displaying the number of pages you are looking at, so the page number, which will display only 1, 2, 3, instead of 1 on top of 1,000, 2 on top of 1,000, etc., etc. So this is this has immediate impact, like you can imagine. At the calculation engine, there are things you can do when you are using a contextual calculation. So this is a tip and tricks coming directly from the Webby dev. You should use every time, if you can, the in context rather than for each and for all. The reason is very simple. The code we use to calculate the in context is much faster and cleaner than the for each and for all. So in some situation, you are forced to use for each and for all. So please go on. But if you can avoid the for each and for all and use the in instead, this is improve the processing of your variables and the calculation of your contextual variables. So in context rather than for each than for all. Then you have the if then else instead of the where operator. So in most cases, the if then else operator can be used instead of the where operator. This is more efficient from a calculation standpoint. So if you ever suspect that the where operator is causing performance degradation issues in your report, try swapping it for a if then else statement, and you will see. Then let's, for this one, the factorize reuse variables. So it's common sense that you should factorize the variables. For example, you can have a first variable called A, which is value 1 plus value 2. You have a variable called B, which is value 3 plus value 4, and you have to do a sum of everything. In the sum variable, instead of doing sum equal value 1 plus value 2 plus value 3 plus value 4, you should do sum equal A plus B. By doing this, you will factorize and the calculation done in the calculation engine and avoid to recalculate again things that have been already calculated. So, the good thing for you, if you did not understand me and if it was too fast, all the things related to performance code generation has been documented, and I will indicate you at the end of the presentation where to find this information. So this is done. So now here comes the time for the demo, and I hope everything will be okay starting from now. The first step and tricks I would like to show you is with Webby, you can almost build a pixel perfect report. What do I mean? In Webby, yes.
Gregory, the reason we had a lot of requests around that tips and tricks because today there's so many customers still using crystals, and a lot of people want to go from crystal to Webby, and many people say, hey, I can't do a crystal or a pixel perfect report with Webby. So that's for a lot of people that's a big problem.
Okay. To build a pixel report with Webby is a big problem, or?
People have the impression that Webby very often is not able to be pixel perfect.
Okay. So that's what I would like to say. You can't use the pixel measure to build and to define the precision of your report, but you can use inches and centimeters. And by centimeters, Webby support 2 digits after the comma. So let's say we support 0, 25 or 1.35, etc., etc. And for most of the time, there is a big confusion what it means pixel perfect. When people build reports using pixel perfect in Crystal, is to be sure that all the measures entered in pixel entered for the column size and so on, that it will fit the report and will be fully respected. In Webby, we don't have pixel perfect. We have dot 2 digits support, but you can achieve exactly the same. And it's just a matter of methodology to make sure that when you build a report, when you fix the position and the size, you can have a report that will render exactly at the position you have entered the value to respect. So I'm going to show you what I mean. And with here start the demo time, and I hope everything will be fine starting from now. So I hope you can all see my screen. I hope it's not too much. I'm going to a little bit to increase the size. That's what I mean by almost pixel perfect. This is a Webby report, and there is a few things you should consider to build a nice report that will behave like almost a pixel perfect report. There are a few things that you should use and you must use as a designer to achieve this. And I'm going to go one by one for this first demo. So this is a Webby document. If you look at the page setup, this is a report in A4. A4, the format of A4 format is 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. So this is the size of my report currently, 21 by 29.7. So the first thing you should do is, it's not obvious here, but you will see that there is something around my document. I'm going to do something to make it really apparent. I'm going to change the layout. That's what I said when something is going to go wrong, which is the web. My document has stopped to work. Okay, let me reopen it. Okay. right-click, Format Reports, Appearance. Okay. I'm going to change the background of my body and make it gray a little bit to make it more visible. Here we go. And you see there is a border. First of all, we will try to get rid of the border of the Webby document. So to achieve this, you have margins here. So you have top, bottom, left, and right margin. So first of all, you're going to get the left and right margin. You're going to fix it to 0 for both. Here we go. So now my body for my report, I can use a 21 centimeter in total. Done. So I can reposition a little bit this cell, but it's not. I'm doing really quickly like this. Here we go. Now there is the border at the top, and I would like to benefit the maximum. Let's say 29 centimeters, which means that I have to get rid of 0.7 centimeter to achieve this. So I'm going to divide my border in both. So I'm going to do 0.35. Here we go. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the bottom. For the bottom, here it is. I'm going to do 0.35. Here we go. So now I have a body with, I would say, either, which is this one, which has a size of 1 centimeter, and a footer, which has also a size of 1 centimeter, which means that 29 minus 2 centimeters have 27 centimeters that I can play with to insert any now report element. This is all my body here. The next thing to help you to design the report and to place precisely your different report parts is to use the grid. In Webby, in the designer, there is a grid that you can use. So to activate it, you have to go in here, Option, and choose what you like to use. I'm using to use centimeter, show the grid, snap the grid, and I would say that the grid will be, let's say, a grid of 0.5 centimeter. I click on OK, apply, and now here's my grid. So now, two things. Now have a look at all things I can place. I can make the grid more smaller if you want to have a more precision of the way you're going to place the different report elements. So again, I can make it .1, 0.1. Okay, 0.1 centimeter. There we go. That's really small. You have to really zoom in to get an understanding of the size of the grid. But now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to make it 0.5, because 0.5 is a multiple of can be a multiple of 21 centimeter quite easily. So now that I have my grid, I'm going to insert my different report elements. To achieve this, I'm using a functionality called a shadow element, which is a variable starting for the two SP2 shadow element. So this is pre-built BI content, and I'm going to insert my element immediately. Here is my first report element. Here we go. I'm going to add another report element. Here we go. As you can see, it snapped nicely on the grid. Next, there is no deviation. I'm going to add another one. Which one I'm going to use? I'm going to use a line chart. This line chart. Here we go. Okay, this one is a little bit big. Never mind. I'm going to resize them quite easily. So now I just have to select them, go into Format, Size, and put a multiple for a multiple of 0.5. So I'm going to make it, let's say, 6. Here we go. 6. Maybe too small. Let's say 7. Should be okay. 7. Okay. So now, as you can see, the second one is no longer too big. So I make it also 7 or 8. Okay. The thing you should do, and this is true for every time you design a Webby document, to avoid this is to use relative position. and you're going to position every block relatively to one block. So to achieve this, click, right click, align, relative position. Let's say I'm going to pose it from the right edge of the bubble chart, 0 centimeter, and I want this to be at the top edge of the bubble chart, and I want to be aligned, so I put it 0 as well. So now by clicking this, the report will align. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the line chart. The line chart, before to resize it, I'm going to align it relatively to the area chart. So 0 from the right edge of my area chart and 0 centimeter for the top edge of the bubble chart as well. Apply. So here we go. So now I have to maybe size again a little bit everything and make it really 6.5. Here we go, should be enough. Okay, and let's say the line chart, which is too big, let's make it, okay, I'm going to do it again, 6. Here we go. I can even make it 6.5 to fill in exactly with a nice border. Here we go. So now, everything I do when I will resize, if I need to resize any of my chart block, they will stay stuck position one versus each other, and like this, they will remain the same. So now I need a table now. I'm going to drag and drop a table. Here we go. And there is a few things to do also for the table. So of course you can use relative position as well to make it sure that align relatively to my central block, which is a bubble chart. So let's say left edge of the bubble chart as well, and I want it to be 0 again. And I want it to be at the bottom edge of the bubble chart, and I want to have, let's say, a size of 0.5. Apply. Done. So now my table will stay where I said I asked it to stay. So now there are other things to do, which is in relation to the size of the different column. You don't want the column, depending on the different refresh, the different size of the column to increase and increase and increase, which would break your rendering and your layouting. So the only way to achieve this, unfortunately, is for every cell here that you need, format cell, is to uncheck auto width. Let's say you want the auto width to be 0.5 and the auto 8 and width to make it fixed. So let's say a multiple of the size of the grid. So 1 is 2 times 0.5. Here we go. So we do this for the body of the table, but also for the header of the table. So you can do it in one shot. There we go. So we do it, make it 8, 0.5, size 1. It's okay, done. And we do this for all the header. Let's say format cell 0.5 as for the 8. Okay. So in one which is missing, which is due to, okay, I know why. 3 centimeter for the line dimension, category 3 centimeter as well. Here we go. Make sure that format cell auto width is displayed, so 0.5, validate. Make it this again, 0.5. Okay. I'm doing this and so on and so on. So I have to do this for every cell to make sure that the any auto fit is not selected. Make it 5. Okay. and you have free target, format cell. I'm going to make it .5 and 2 centimeter, and check the auto fit again and again. Here we go, and last but not least, the margin column, format cell, 2 centimeter, 0.5, auto fit, uncheck, OK. What I can do to gain some space, I'm going to reduce a little bit the line of item to make it 2.5. Here we go. And increase a little bit this one. And here we go. So now my table will remain at this position every time. So this is done. Here we go. So I'm going to save this one, save, and now I have a nice Webby document that will stay at the place I asked him to stay, and the data will not change the nature of the stuff. So there is some small adjustment to be made to display every value. And here there is some workaround, which is to use some names such as kilo, dollar, million dollar, to avoid to have big number, and to use the round if you can. There we go. So now I have this Webby document. I save it. I remove the display of the show grid. I validate. And now my document can be shared. And every time I'm going to display, print it, share it, the document will remain in this state, and it won't change. The position will remain the same, the size of the command will remain the same, and so on and so on. So that's the recommendations and things you can do by building a Webby document which can be almost pixel perfect. That's what I mean. Okay, next one. Working with Microsoft Excel file. So time is flying, and realize that I will not be able to show you everything, but I will go quickly. So you can build Webby on top of Excel, you know, different way to achieve this. So let me show you how you can achieve this. And one that we have added recently is to be able, from the browser, into any corporate folder that you are using, let's say this demo folder, you can create new, new local documents. And you can browse, you can upload your Excel file. So let's find one Excel file that I would like to upload into this folder. Let's use this one. Open. Here we go. So I can upload this Excel file, and once this Excel file has been uploaded in the folder, in a corporate folder or personal folder, but better in the corporate folder depending on the right, every time you're going to, let me create a new Webby document, you can choose Excel from the web, from the Java applet, and also from the HTML, and you can pick up this Excel file that you have recently uploaded into your demo folder or local folder. Here it is, this one. And I can use it to build a Webby document on top of an Excel file. Here we go. I'm going to do it really, really quickly. Here we go. If I refresh, done. The good thing is, if when you want to update the Excel file, you can do this by clicking on where is tag, by using the function replace file. By doing this, it means that you do not break the link between the Excel file and the Webby document, which means that you can update your Excel file, click on replace file to upload another version of the same Excel file that can contain additional data. And the next time the Webby document will be open and refresh, you will see the result, the updated data into your Excel file. First thing, by using the local folder. There is another way to build a Webby document by using Excel file, and I'm going to show you. For this, I'm going to switch to the Webby Rich client, which is to use shared folder. So this is a Webby document built on an Excel file. So I'm going to edit, and this Excel file has been built by using this shared folder inside of which I can use this Excel file. So I'm going to show you how I build it. I'm going to close. I'm going to create a new Webby document, new data provider based on Excel. And normally, this will propose me different things, but no shared folder. But if you go into here and you select copy address, which is a shared folder for this Excel file, if I go here and paste it, no, not this one. Okay, let me do it again. Temp. The issue, I don't remember the name of my folder. Oh, that's a pity. Okay, let's go back, revert back. Imagine, so you just have, when create a new data provider from Excel, here you just have to type blah, 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 file system name, backslash your folder name, backslash your Excel file, dot xlsx, and if you do this, you will end up with this type of document, which is this one, this name. So you have a Webby document pointing to a Excel file shared into a shared folder. Why to do this? Good, because when you want to work collaboratively, you don't want maybe to upload an Excel file into the BI Launchpad, because that's really easier for you to go into your shared folder, open the Excel file, update it. So I'm going to add additional lines. So 2017 Q2 33, 2017 Q4 444, 2017 Q1 Q2, okay, Q3 and 555. And by allowing this, now you just have to update the shared Excel file, and the next time you will open the same Webby document, and simply by hitting refresh, you will get exactly the data immediately into your Excel, into your Webby document. So that's a good benefit by using shared Excel file in shared folder to build Webby document on top of. Okay, the next one. Next one is about merge dimension. So in Webby, you have the merge dimension that you know. But do you know that you can do left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join? So let me show you how. So if you go in design time now.
While it's uploading, please feel free to ask all your questions in the question box on the right of your screen. Thank you.
How to do left, right, and full outer join. So in this Webby document, I have several data providers based on Excel. So I have one data provider, this one, a second data provider, CTT, and a third data provider, CTM. What I did, I build, okay, let me show you by query. I built a merge dimension called city based on the different city name, CTS, CTM, and CTT. If I use the CT merge dimension, which is the real merge dimension here, as you can see, I can, of course, consume the sales dimension, the target dimension in my table. That's the result of this table. By doing this, I'm doing a full outer join. By using the merge dimension, I'm doing a full outer join. And if you don't want to see the empty data, there is just an option in the table to do not show empty measures. But to do right or left, it's really easy, starting from now. It's just a matter, because now that the different data providers are synchronized thanks to the CT merge dimension, by using the CTS dimension, this one, with sales and target revenue, I'm going to do a left outer join. But on the opposite, if I use CTT, this dimension, with sales and target also, I'm going a right outer join. So this is how you can build left, right, and full outer join into Web Intelligence and how it works. Another thing I would like to show you is the improvements regarding the merge dimension in Web Intelligence. So in Webby, specifically, if you are consuming merge hierarchical dimension, you can consume them. The good thing is now is that you can merge hierarchical dimension. So let's have a look at how it works. So here I have this query one account merge hierarchical dimension, this one. I have another query called account as well, but that contains different levels in the merge dimension. And I'm going to merge both of them, and you will see the output. The output is, of course, a dimension called merge, but the thing is, this is really a hierarchical merge dimension. And if I use now the measure coming from both data providers and then add them, data are synchronized, which is a good thing. But also, because the account hierarchical dimension from the second query does not contain the same element, if I expand everything, expand all, I'm going to remove this one maybe. Done. I'm going to remove this as well. And this one. You can see the tool is smart enough to be able to synchronize the merge hierarchical dimension account with the amount measured coming from the query 3, query 1, and the amount coming from the query 3. So you can see it works. Another thing you could do, which is really great, and that's why I love this capability, is now, if I can merge two hierarchical dimensions, I can merge a hierarchical dimension and a flat dimension, which can come from any other data sources, such as Excel. So that's what I'm proposing to show you. So here I have my merge. I'm going to unmerge everything. Yes, remove this. So now I'm going to merge this information from query 1, account and amount. I'm going to drag and drop here. And inside my data provider, I have, there we go. I have another Excel file, which is an Excel file called hierarchical data that contains the following information. One side, this is a hierarchy. On the other side, with the actual number. On the other side, this is a flat list with my target revenue, for example. So now, starting for that one, you can merge a hierarchical dimension with a flat dimension. So to achieve this, this is almost quite easy. You select the account and you select the account from the flat file, click on merge, done. We have a new account merge dimension. As you can see, the icon is different. So now I can use both. So I'm going to use the amount, which is my fact revenue with the target. There we go. So that's fact with amount query one and target here. And if I do this, now the tool can synchronize the actual amount and the target revenue. And the good thing is you can continue to benefit of the hierarchy. Here we go. So that's something quite powerful that you can use when you have data coming from a corporate system, which is an ALAP system, and when you want to inject target data or target revenue, for example, or any data based on any Excel file or other data provider. Another thing I would like to show you is new capabilities that you have in Webby. Here I have a table, quarter, year, sales revenue, coming from each fashion. Let me merge this dimension and merge. First, this is a table coming from eFashion. So this is, here we go, this. Keep it. This is the data provider, quarter, year, sales revenue. And I have another Excel file, which is, let me find it, this one, year, quarter, and margin. I would like to synchronize both data providers, but you can see one is on quarter, year, another one is year, quarter, so which means that I have to create a variable, and that's what I did. I have created a variable called string year, really simple, which do a left of the year quarter on 4 digits. So which means that I'm taking only the year information. As a result, now I have this variable. Here we go, which gives me the right information. So now, starting for the 2 SP3, you can merge data coming from any data provider. So let's say this universe, this one, year, quarter, not this one, sorry. This one, year or quarter, in this case year, with a variable. So I'm going to merge them. Now I have a new merge variable based on year. And based on this information, now my data coming from Excel and my data coming from universe can be synchronized easily. Here we go. So I have the sales revenue coming from my universe, margin coming from my local file or any data provider, and we have the year merge dimension. What does it mean? It means that now, when you're going to add any data in your data provider and you want to merge, if the data you have refreshed and acquired are not clean, you can clean them by using the formula language from Webby to create a variable, and this variable can be used into the merge dimension. Okay, next one. What if analysis in Webby? I'm going to close this file and open another one.
So Gregory, while you close the file, I'll launch a poll. Just hold on a little bit.
Okay. I will not to explain what you can achieve, but I will show you how to achieve this. What if analysis in for the end?
Also, while the poll is running, please feel free to start to ask some questions in the question box on the right of your screen. Just hold on a little bit.
This is a what if analysis for the end user. So here you can propose a way to interact with the Webby document to do what if. So you can increase the percentage of discount, increase your sales, and define the amount of taxes you're going to pay. As a result, you can have an estimation of the net revenue. It is quite easy to use. So let's say that I discount my sales by 35%. I will see the result quite immediately. If I increase my sales up to 60%, you will see the result. And now if I taxes has increased from 2% to, let's say, 33%. By doing this, you have a way to simulate the result and how the net revenue can evolve. To achieve this is quite simple. You just have to create what you call a dummy variable in design mode. So it's a list of variables here that will receive the value that you define here. So it's quite easy to build. It's just a matter to select a slider, create a slider to say that the minimum value is 100, maximum plus 100, incremental 5. And every time you're going to, I'll show you, this one says, mark tax percentage. Up, if you had this variable here, every time you're going to change one of these values, you see the corresponding variable value change. So if you can define what is the value for this variable, you can use them for any calculation to perform any what-if analysis. So this is the kind of things you can do. Other things you can do is to propose dynamic top end for your end user. So I will quickly show you. And I think I'm going to stop with this demonstration. So top end is the end of your end user. So once again here, to achieve this, you can use dynamic visibility for the table. So here is a table that shows all my sales. If I click on top 10, I see the table, but only with the top 10. And if I click on top 5, I see a table with only the top 5. To achieve this is quite easy. Same thing, you create a variable called that will receive the value all to top 5, top size, and you just have to define in the format table this kind of formula. If top value equals top 5 is different than top 5, then hide me. Same thing for the top 10. If the value for this table for the show hide condition is different than top 10, hide me. And that's what you are doing to achieve this. Another way to create top, this one is a little bit tricky, is I want to see the sales that contributes up to 90% of my sales, 80%, 70%. So it's quite easy. You are using exactly the same thing to achieve this. So if I want to see what contributes to up to 78% of my revenue, you can use exactly the same methodology to achieve this. So it's a way to see what are the cities that benefit, that contribute up to 34% of my revenue. Another one to use top end for the end user is to let the end user define. Okay, I want to see the top 20. I want to see the top 10. I want to see the top 3. So to achieve this, same way, you will find all the details at the end of my presentation. Another thing, this one I like it, is dynamic display. Why? It seems that something is wrong with this conditional formatting based on user input. So I want to. Here we go. Okay, this is the top 20. Go. I want to see this one. Here we go. So dynamic display. So here you have a list of the table, and you have to focus on what is above 1 million. Enter 1 million, and it will highlight what is below 1 million. And you can like this focus on what really matters when you look at a Webby document, and so on and so on. So here to achieve this is quite easy. You are using an entry field, and you use this with dynamic conditional formatting. Another thing that I like is dynamic dimension. So here you have a table with one dimension and three measures: sales, margin, discount. By using discipline control, I can say, hey, instead of using category, you can use city dimension, you can use the line dimension, you can use the year dimension, and automatically, by using discipline control, it will shift from one dimension to the other dimension quite easily and quickly. So that's a good way to provide interactivity in your end user. Last but not least, I call it dynamic sort. So here, same purpose, but different way to work. I have a category dimension and I have three measures. But what I want is to sort my table dynamically based, depending on the sales revenue, on the margin, or on the discount. Here's something. I want to sort the column number 2. So the column number 2 is sorted. I want to sort the column number 3. The column number 3 is sorted, and the table is impacted to see the corresponding category. So as you can see, it's smooth, it works nicely, and you can propose this to help your end user to sort dynamically their table in the way they want, and to display the information they need in the way they want it. So we reach the time. What else did I wanted to show you? I wanted to show you progress bar in rows, table display in hierarchical format, and trend lines, linear and polynomial in Webby. So the good things for you, all the things I show you are all documented. So this is the wiki explaining how to build a linear versus a polynomial line, if you want. So everything is explained how to achieve this. This is the wiki explaining how to display micro chart in table. So if you want to build this kind of things, the step-by-step will help you to achieve this. So it's quite easy, and this will allow you to build really good interactive reports into your in your Webby document for your end user. Before we leave and open the Q&A, first of all, there is a complete wiki for performance consideration, which is documented here. All the advanced tip and tricks are all documented, and you will find up to 25 tip and tricks to build interactive Webby reports. And if you are looking at what has been recently delivered in Webby, all the links are available to you. Just to let you know, all my demos have been made by using Web Intelligence for the 2SP3 patch 6. Webby is a great tool with a bright future. It's true. And if you are looking at what's going on, what we're going to deliver in the near future, please click on this link. We have a complete roadmap that will show you the link here. Not working, but never mind. With a full roadmap that contains all the details for the year, what we need to deliver this year, plus the coming year. So I'm going to stop now and open the Q&A. So I'm going, I think I have to open the chat so you can ask your question. If you open the chat and have a look at it.
And since we're short on time, if we can't answer all the questions, we'll answer to all the questions by email after the session. So let's go for a few questions, Gregory. I'll let you go through them.
So where do I find the question? So let me have a look at the question. The question, okay. Audio issue, okay. I'm not able to hear John, okay. It's not audio, can't see video, okay, work. When you use HTML on Webby, do you believe that all charts and components are able to use in a report? When you use HTML mode on Webby, do you believe that all charts and components are able to be used on a report? Yes. 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 Will this presentation be available? Yes. Are you presenting the screen too? Yes. Okay, I'm going through the list. I apologize for this. Okay.
You can only have a look at the unanswered questions.
Okay, can you please tell left and right auto join one time, please, again? So in fact, it's really simple. When you merge two data providers, let's say data provider A with dimension A and data provider B with dimension B, when you merge dimension A and dimension B, if you use the merge dimension is a full outer join. But inside the merge dimension, you have below dimension A and dimension B. If you use dimension A with any measures coming from the data provider 1 or data provider 2, you are doing a right outer join. If you use the dimension B with any measures coming from the data provider 1 or data provider 2, you are doing a left outer join. It's really simple as it is. It's really as simple as I'm saying. I hope it's clear, but never mind. I'm going to share with you the document. So like this, it will be even simpler on the side. Okay. Will the PowerPoint presentation be made available after the webinar? Yes. Will you be able to get the recording of this demo? Yes. I'm going to share all the tips and tricks and all the Webby documents as well. How is dynamic sort technically done? In fact, in the Webby document, it's quite easy. We are using a column here, which is hidden. This column is displayed, the column that I'm setting is 3. 3 is the column number 3, and column number 3 is added here and is sorted automatically. So that's why I have this a little bit white space at the end. So this is this columns, which can be hidden, by the way, which is used to sort dynamically the column. Because every time I'm using column number 1 here, what it does is it just add column number 1, and the filter is done on this column. Can some charts available in Excel and dashboard are not available in Webby? Will they be available in Webby later? Yes and no. So no. So you are trying to add a new chart type in Webby. For example, we had gauges in Webby in the 4.2 before. Otherwise, we have a technology, a framework for the developer called custom elements or visualization extension that allow you to integrate into Webby any chart type or any chart technology that you need. So it's quite easy. So you just have to identify a chart that you would like to use in Webby. You ask your favorite developer to build what you call a viz extension. And once this is done, this visual extension, viz extension, will be added into Webby in the list of available charts, and any designer will be able to use this viz as any default chart. So that's the way, that's the workaround I'm proposing you. How to hide the left pane from the user as they open a Webby document. Simply, when you create a Webby document, you select the left pane, you do minimize, that's it, and you save, period. The next time the same Webby document will be open, the same setting will apply, the left pane will be minimized. Okay.
Okay. I think we've covered everything. Thank you very much, Gregory. And then we will email to all the attendees the link to see this video of this webinar, your presentation, our presentation. And if anybody wants to get some trial keys, they're more than welcome. And as you've seen at the end of the presentation on the link, also there's a discount to go for the Nashville conference in August this year, the BI Analytics. Thank you very much to everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.